This is going to be commentary for chapter 22 of my book Metadimensional, which you can read on Kindle or listen to as an audiobook on Google Play. Links are in the description. So, chapter 22 is called Beyond Experience. Okay. Consider the proposition that experience is fundamental, which is one of the axioms of this theory, and which I argued several times already, that nothing produces it other than itself. Now, what do I argue? I'm not arguing that experience is independent, like from the brain, causally independent from the brain, but is nonetheless causally dependent on elements that are mental. This isn't the claim. There is no real distinction between mental and physical in experiential terms. If it's external to experience, that's all you need to have a fundamental dimension, something that is not you, something that will separate you from solipsism. So we are currently living in a scientific paradigm where we think that everything experiential or intelligent is happens because of the brain, but that's not that's incidental to how we believe things are in sciences today, but it doesn't dictate what the theory argues. And the theory argues also mental things, insofar as they're not in experience, and then they can exist separately from it. Now think about what drives your experience. Well, that's the will. That's the thing that pushes it. That's the thing that propels your experience from moment to moment, from one experience to the next. Now, if that will is determined by, let's say, by external reasons, be it corporeal, brain, like the brain reasons, or because of mental reasons that are separate from it, from experience, then what would happen is that experience wouldn't be fundamental. So if the brain is deciding what the will would be, then experience isn't fundamental. But also, if mental things that are not experience itself determine what experience is or where it will propel next, well, then you reject the idea that experience is fundamental. So, like, for example, if you say that when you're bored, then you're feeling unhappy, so you can create a condition, a mental condition where you are bored, and then you can force experience to be unhappy. You can force the will to not want something. And if you can do that, then experience isn't fundamental, because experience didn't make the choice to put itself in a situation which is boring. I'm just saying, like, any kind of dynamic that you find that you can force yourself into via external means, experience should be able to override it. Now, so what you get here is a realization that the will is not just causally independent. When we say we have free will, it's not just causal independent from the brain, which is like it is, but it's not. But that's not enough. It is causally independent from reasoning, from forcing conditions on experience. So it is the will, therefore, for there to be for if experience is fundamental, then the will is not is causally independent from everything. It is its existence is a metaphysical inconsistency. It's like something that has no reason. And something that has no reason can contradict itself, and it's fine. So that's the kind of will that that this theory is actually arguing for. It's not like I can want whatever, I can want things that the brain won't let me. It's like I can want things that there's absolutely no reason for me to want. Now, so notice here that there's a metaphysical inconsistency here, but this isn't the first time. Remember, I said that you are an experiential intersection. You're not experience, and then I said you are experience. Like, what you notice the contradiction here? Like, experience is the element that exists, and then what I am is an experiential intersection, which is a relation between fundamental dimensions, basically. But there shouldn't be a relation between fundamental dimensions. By their very definition, they are causally independent. So what am I if I am that relation? Well, so I am not the dimension of experience in its entirety. That's not what I am. But that's the element that exists. So my existence is a metaphysical inconsistency as well. And something that is both is and isn't at the same time. I exist, but I'm not. I don't really exist. I'm a process of processes where you never get to an atom of like something that is cannot be broken into previous processes. What all this breaks down to is like the understanding that this theory, to make sense, it necessarily assumes the existence of metaphysical inconsistency, of the parts of its cosmology are things that cannot be explained. Not because I don't have an explanation for them, but because had they had an explanation, the theory couldn't be correct. Now you could think, hey, what is this? Doesn't that show that this theory is wrong? Well, no. The existence of metaphysical inconsistency or inconsistent elements in the theory is necessary if you are to actually capture the nature of reality. If you consider Gödel's incompleteness theorems, you can always show that you can show that in every theory, insofar it is rational, there are claims that it cannot prove. And if your theory about the metaphysical reality makes sense and it's therefore rational, there are things that it won't prove. And if it's complete, then there are things that have no explanation and cannot have explanation by definition. And if you think if you find that unacceptable, well, you need to understand any theory that doesn't include a metaphysical inconsistency, that doesn't put a room in it for that, is necessarily wrong, because again, if you take Gödel's incompleteness theorems, the theory that does explain reality most accurately will necessarily have a metaphysical inconsistency in it. And if you don't have that metaphysical inconsistency in your theory, then whatever you believe cannot be the truth.